All right, everyone, I have some jam-packed lunchtime content for you all, but before we get into that, I just want to let you know about what I've been working on behind the scenes. Quite some time ago, I came to you with this idea of a narrative feature film about weightlifting, and that feature film is going to be called The Weight. I was approached by Adam Shiner to help produce, and now I will be acting in this movie. We started a Kickstarter literally right when the pandemic had started, and we raised $100,000. We used a portion of that $100,000 to solidify, create the best possible infrastructure to set this movie up to be filmed right when we get our funding in. We hired very legitimate producers, people who make movies for a living. And the remaining money from that $100,000 will go to further pre-production and production itself. What we're doing now is starting a WeFunder campaign. Unlike a donation-based platform like Kickstarter, WeFunder allows you to invest. So get a piece of this film. Whatever money you invest, there is possibility of getting returns back. What we're looking to do with WeFunder, specifically with you guys, is to raise the awareness of this film on that platform so that larger entities could potentially come in and give bigger money to the production of this film. If you go to the website, which will be linked in the description, you will see all of the information about this, and you will see how much infrastructure we have built. And then most of the information about this WeFunder and about the film, anything you need to know, if you click on the investor panel icon and watch that video, you will see the director, Adam Shiner, and producer, Josh Bunting. They will deliver all of the information you need to know. And one thing I'll add before we go. I know what I'll do personally when this thing gets funded. Physically, I plan on being as big as I ever have been. Two things will consume my entire life until this project is finished: looking the part and being the part. I have been 117 kilos body weight before. I was starting to look like your everyday weightlifter. Being the part just means I will live this script. I'm gonna memorize this script so well that I'll be able to write it out word for word. I will be doing a lot of acting intensive lessons, and like I had said, I'm going to be living this part. This is no longer just a pipe dream. Everything is set up. We just need your help to knock it down. So please check out the WeFunder. The link is in the description, and let's get into the video. Okay, so just kind of an experimental style today. What I want to do is I want to do both training and sit here in front of whatever Alex puts me up against and talk about some stuff on the internet, do some reaction stuff for you guys. It's gonna be a combined video. Hopefully it works out, and hopefully you guys like the content. So let's do it.
Oh yeah, baby, there's that beautiful son of a bitch.
Hey everybody, it's Zach in your ear holes. I want to talk about some stuff during this training session. A question I get a lot is, Zach, have you gotten weaker since you started doing jiu-jitsu? And, you know, the short answer is yes, but the long answer is yes, and it involves a lot of other factors. Like, I think people don't really understand what stronger or shape is for different levels, right? So if you guys recall, I, weightlifted pretty much full time for anywhere, 5 to 7 years. I took some breaks, but I trained really, really hard. And when I was at my best, I put in a lot of training. So either I have to train harder in order to improve, or train near as hard as I used to, which is just an impossibility when I add in other things. What I will say is this: I could be stronger than I am now. I just am not really putting that much effort into the weight room. And that sounds like, oh, well, I could be so much better. It's like, no, that's not an excuse. That's more me saying that I'm a total pussy right now. It is very hard to go from jiu-jitsu and try and recover. I will admit that. But I will also say, this is my first clean and jerk session in, I don't know, a month. Last time I did it was with John North and at Nationals. So yeah, it's a multivariate answer, but the reality is, guys, people improving or maintaining is much different from one person to the next, right? So in order for me to be in my best shape, I have to train harder or as hard as I used to, which I'm not doing. So hopefully that answers that question. So for this session, I just wanted to clean and jerk 140. That's a number where it's like, God, Zach, you got to get in there and clean and jerk 140. And I'm happy I was able to. On Monday, I had like a super hard sparring session in the gi at jiu-jitsu. And I also snatched, and I snatched pretty well. And then Tuesday, I did some back squats, took off of jiu-jitsu. And so today, my plan was to go to jiu-jitsu at night, but it was also to do some clean and jerking and some pulling as well. So I was able to get 140. And then my goal for this was just please deadlift 500 pounds. I will say this: the deadlift is a movement that I always feel most confident as far as putting the best load that I possibly can. My best deadlift ever is far better than 500 pounds. And I honestly feel like, I felt like it was going to be iffy if I could get 500 pounds in this session. Usually when I warm up, I like to do tap and go doubles until I get to about, this weight, 210, and I'll just do like singles from there. I love doing tap and go reps. I think people hate them because, you're not training from the bar, coming from a dead stop. But for me, it really helps me warm up, my whole body. So here's my rep at 500 pounds. Went a lot smoother than I expected it to. I probably had more in me, but, it was my first time deadlifting in over a month. God, I don't even remember the last time I deadlifted, so that was cool. Anyways, back to the video. All right, I'm back in the lab. Let's get going here. First video. It's on my my Reddit page. That. Oh my God! I swear to God, I thought that was a dude in a bear suit. Obviously, Russian. Yep, Russian guy arm wrestles a bear. Look. Okay, whatever. Let's just watch it.
Yeah. Гога! Винс! Ты че? Реально давит. Скользнул лапу, но было очень круто. Он прям давил. Прикинь, давил прям. Да.
What's he feeding him? Like straight honey? I bet it's honey. Look, if there's one thing you can take away from this channel, like consistently take away from this channel, it's that Russians are going to Russia. This one's called 220 easy. By the thumbnail, I know it's insane. Guys, I got some stuff planned for ego lifting coming up with some guys. Mikey May Be Me. He's our boy. If you guys haven't seen, he's gotten like a lot of traction. Barstool posted a video of him. A bunch of other people have posted videos of him. He was on Fox. Crazy. But this video... All right, so this is a video that I have not seen. It was sent to me from the director of The Weight, and it's 1972 Olympic weightlifters. It's like a little mini documentary. So let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weightlifting competition, the flyweight entry, Group A.
Obviously, this is a crazy shot showing the Olympic Village, and then some guy like basically like shadow snatching in the middle of it. So it's basically, okay, guy's basically doing like frog jumps with his hands behind his back. It's actually really difficult. You got to get your hips low, and to have your hands behind your back means you have really good thoracic extension and you're comfortable in the bottom position. Two things that are very important in the sport of Olympic weightlifting. This is definitely, I could tell already, this is like pure cinema here. This is, it's less, it's like the opposite of hook grip or all things gym. This is like trying to show the cinema and the feeling of everything. I think that they're using non-diegetic sound, which would just mean like canned sounds that they can make in Foley, which is just like a studio where they can like literally make the sound effects necessary and play them over the top. I'm sure the audio, the ability to record the audio wasn't as good back then, or maybe it was, but they just didn't have that. And they wanted to like add in that audio. Let's see if it gets any more ridiculous. See, that seems natural. That audio. That's not. Okay, well, this is cool because like a lot of weightlifters, and I see this from other countries, you know, they'll do like a lot of cool stuff for dynamic types of warm up. You saw the person there doing like aggressive arm swings. You see the guy doing the halos over the top, using dumbbells to warm up. All of these things just get the weightlifter sharp and ready to go. You know, that can work for someone, but other things can work for other people. I have seen, there's a video of Simone Martirosyan, who's one of the best heavyweight lifters in the world right now. And he literally walks into the gym, picks up the barbell, snatches, does like 4 snatches and ends up snatching 160 or something like that. And then he does 4 clean and jerks and ends up clean and jerking like 230. So 8 total lifts with the bar included, and then he just maybe squats and maybe does some pressing and leaves. So, you know, if warming up like this helps you, if it gets you like loose and ready to go, absolutely, by all means do it. But it's not, you know, it's not bad if you don't do that. All that matters is technique, strength, and power. Yeah, that's our guy that was doing the jumps before. He's kind of doing this like rapid. Wait a minute. Okay. They're adding in squeaking noises. You know, this was the time, man. 1972. This is a wide world of sports. This is, okay, weightlifting is, look at these freaks. right? Look at these freaks of nature. So what they want to do here is just show this big dude is making the floor squeak because he weighs so much, which, you know, it's just dramatic effect like this whole thing already is. So here's the competition hall. I'll turn the volume down here. Are those metal plates? So they must have still been using metal plates at this time. So I'm not entirely sure. I've done a lot of old school weightlifting videos before, but like 1972 seems to be like near the cutoff point. I think actually after this Olympiad, they had stopped the press, which was one of the movements. So there was the snatch, the clean and press, and the clean and jerk. So this is like right around the point where, you know, they started cutting these things out, where they started using rubber plates, and Soviet Russia was starting to take over, and American weightlifting was starting to go down as powerlifting and bodybuilding became popular in America. Swedish weightlifter there getting combed. He's got to represent for the Eleiko brand, you know? Oh, there he is. There's the guy. This is Vasily Alexeyev, like one of the most decorated weightlifters of all time. You know, my grandpa loved, because my grandpa's passed away, but my dad and him used to talk about this guy all the time. Again, because he was on Wide World of Sports, this big production that just brought weightlifting to people. And they loved like his big belly and just a strong circus type of freak show guy. And Vasily Alexeyev was always that guy. And he was even on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So even though my dad and my grandpa didn't know anything about weightlifting, they knew who Vasily Alexeyev is. That's the weird thing, right? Like Lasha, by all accounts, is a better lifter. Lasha's the greatest, if not one of the greatest weightlifters of all time, and he's nowhere near as household of a name as Vasily Alexeyev was at that time. Oh, we gotta pause it on those boots. I forgot they used to wear these high top leather boots with those added wooden heels. Dude, comment if you would wear those. I think I would. And look at that look. I like the like cotton black socks underneath. Hey, spit out the other end. Here's the Swede. Do you see his... Let's watch that one more time. As he catches this in the bottom, look at his front rack. There's space in between the barbell and him. There's one other lifter that came to mind immediately, and that is Chemerkin, a Russian heavyweight. Of course, you know, he could never front rack the barbell. But you can see there's separation between him and the barbell. But look, he adjusts his grip here. He adjusts his grip to go suicide grip. It's wild. This is where it's important to have weightlifting expertise if you want to make something cinematic. The beauty of weightlifting is seeing the full body move and have it be framed with perspective. We always see weightlifting from dead front on. Even in some of the Olympics, they do this like camera that's like shooting up at their face. They pull in real tight to the guy's face because they don't know that the beauty of weightlifting really comes from like the 45-degree angle, the 30-degree angle, almost the side sometimes, even behind the weightlifter. But you need to see the full body moving to really understand what you're seeing. That dead ahead thing, or when they cut off and you just see the chest and you get the reactions of other people mid-lift, like that is not the cinematic beauty of weightlifting. And when we talk about, you know, creating a feature film about the weight, like that's what we're trying to do. It's what a beautiful movement the snatch and the clean and jerk are. The sounds from it, the explosion of it. There is nothing like it on earth. And to not be able to capture it in its fullest is a shame. And you still see it to this day. Like it's nothing but tight shots. We need to see all the facial expressions. I don't care about this guy. I don't care about half of his body. I don't care about his head. What? Why are we in tight? Is this the Great Britain guy? He's got the undershirt. Got some dope boots. Great. Like, show the butt shot? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Dude is not afraid to show package. He just psyched himself out. Just walked back and forth and psyched himself out. What? Oh, that's the 30-second? Okay. All of that just to Clark it. So, some American weightlifter came up with the term back in the day, and there's some guy whose last name was Clark, and he used to do this all the time. It was just kind of a nickname. Oh, you Clarked it. So, you see this every once in a while. People, when they're usually when they're going from cleans, but I've seen snatches, people Clark it. You get in your own head as you're pulling, you just stop, drop the bar, or you just high pull it, and you're like, no. That's called Clarking it. The more you know. So there's our guy. Look at that belly. It's what are we doing? Why not show the full body? I have no idea what he's doing. There we go. And there's the classic press. Here we go. All right, so as he presses this is one of the reasons why they took the press out. These guys were really they were keeping their knees locked, but they were able to generate this bounce on the bar. And then as they're pressing, they're just leaning back as hard as they can. So this is the weird thing, man. They're mixing in clean and jerk attempts with clean and press. They're showing dudes' asses. They're showing just straight up his belly. The whole thing here is just packaging it as, look at these big guys that you're not. And it's weird. It's part of me wants weightlifting to be this big kind of circus show, but another part of me wants to be no, these are fucking athletes that are really hardcore, and this is not just some circus show. This is a science. There's a science to this, and it's incredibly competitive. Oh, of course. This is the best. So if you guys don't recall, I did weightlifting in advertisements or something like that. And they're showing, 4 guys have to move this bar out of the way. 4 soldiers in Germany. It's the dumbest cinematic trick in the fucking book to say, oh, look at how heavy this is. It's we can't just unload the bar. All right, guys, I have to go to jiu-jitsu class, so let's go train. Ready? All right, guys, this is some jiu-jitsu sparring in the gi. You guys can't tell, but it is so unbelievably hot. It's the room is filled with moisture, and this is hard sparring for me. So I'm going to pause it real quick. Basically, this position is called close guard, and my training partner, his name is Jonathan. He's a brown belt. He stands up to try and break the close guard. Close guard's good for me because I got really long legs. Right now I'm trying to isolate his arm, but I can't because he's got these heavy-duty collar grips. Jonathan is super strong, so it's tough. So from here, basically try and sweep him from that leg. Now I'm okay, I want to attack the other leg, so I scoot over, hook that leg, and I try to get the sweep here, but his base is so solid. Then I'm I want the armbar, and I miss it. This choke is called a paper cutter choke. After you pass someone's guard, so passing someone's guard is just getting past their legs, you end up in north-south. If you can see my right arm, it's actually under the dude's right arm. His hand's kind of sticking up over my back, and I'm grabbing the tag of his jacket. Then with my left arm, I have a collar grip on him. And then all I do is just drop my elbow, and then I sink my body weight, and then I get the tap right there. This guy is very tough, and you'll see he submits me later. But this was tough, man. I'll tell you guys when I'm really, really tired. So right here, I just kind of pass his guard, get to side control. He's very calm and collected. I try the paper cutter again. You can see my hand try to grab here and get that choke, but he defends it. So then I go to a position called knee on belly. It's another position of control, and then he rolls. And so now I'm looking to take his back. Trying to get my right foot over the top of his knee. So we fall back. I get the hooks. Now I'm going for a bow and arrow choke, but he's able to really squirm to get across. Okay, so at this point, I'm actually kind of dying. When I press play, it's like kind of hard to tell, but I'm like kind of gassed a little bit. Like we've been going hard for a while. So this is not just like, slap and bump. We've been going on for a while. So he pretty much passes my guard, but isn't able to solidify it. There, I just shrimp as hard as I can, and then I get my half guard. All right, so if you guys look, I'm getting this grip right here with my left hand. It's like a backhanded grip on his collar, and I do this a lot. And all I'm doing here is just trying to sneak this grip in real deep, basically to his tag. You can see I get it nice and deep. Then I press play, and I go with what's called a loop choke. Basically taking my other arm and feeding it under my left arm, the choking arm, and just squeezing real tight. And I'm able to get the tap there. That choke is like, it's really, really low skill, and I do it a lot. And when guys know it's coming, I just can't pull it off. So here we get into a little leg exchange here, and I decide to cross my feet to try and get 50-50, but I loosen up my cross, and now he gets this brutal leg lace on me. I'm trying to defend it. He readjusts, gets it even tighter, and then I yell for the tap. I'm still feeling that one. So, yeah, here I went for a brutal, horrible takedown. He ends up getting my neck. Kind of just rip myself out of that and then pass his guard. Again, trying to get that paper cutter grip. I don't know, it just comes to me and I go for it. I kind of just spam this, and then the time hits. While we're paused here, I just want you guys to know, like, I'm a total noob in jiu-jitsu, and I'm trying my best. I know there's going to be a lot of you out there that are just going to be like, oh, you're so shitty and not technical, but I really, really try my best to be technical and to move well and do the best that I can. So it's a learning process. This thing is so hard. It's like scary. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let's move on with the show. It's so hot and humid. Like like people don't understand. Gi training is like the scariest. Like if we just had that sparring and no gi, it would be way more fun.
Dude, I can see the steam coming off of your gi right now.
Alright, that's good. Appreciate it. So that's it. It's 9:30 p.m. I'm pretty wrecked, I'm not gonna lie, but it's part of the drill, man. I go hard in the gym in both places. I really hope you guys liked that. It was a new style today. We got the weight room training, the commentary, and the jiu-jitsu at the end there. I really appreciate you for sticking around. And again, if you guys find that you have the time, please check out the WeFunder. I appreciate anything you guys are doing for this channel at all. Thank you so much.